Yes, this is Jack. This is my kitty Luna, and this is Hobbs. Okay, so they all want to read with us today. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Oh, they are so excited to read Flora and Ulysses. Oh! Be nice, kitties. We're doing a peaceful reading. Remember that. Okay. All right. So let's get to reading. Hey, Hobbs, come back. Okay. Let's see if I can get Jack in the picture. Yes, there is catnip everywhere. Okay, Jack, you listening? Chapter 55. Squirrel. When he was finished, Flora's mother stood over his shoulder, reading and nodding and saying, "That's right, that ought to do it." But there were a few misspellings. But then, you're a squirrel. Of course you're going to misspell things. She lit another cigarette and leaned against the kitchen table and considered him. "I guess it's time," she said. "Wait here. I'll be right back." And he did as she said. He waited. Okay, Hobbs, the rest of us are over here, and you're pretty far away. So I'd like you to come back to listen to the story. Yes. Yes. Okay, Jack is still being very good. Okay. She left the kitchen, and he simply sat there, unmoving. It was as if she put a spell on him. It was as if typing the lies, the wrong words, had depleted him of all ability to act. Once, long ago, in a garden in springtime, Ulysses had seen a squirrel made of stone, gray, hollow-eyed, frozen. In his stone paws, he held a stone acorn that he would never get to consume. The squirrel was probably in the garden now, still holding that acorn, still waiting. "I am a stone squirrel," thought Ulysses. "I can't move." He looked over the words he had typed. They were untrue words. Several of them were misspelled. There was no joy in them, no love. And worst of all, they were words that would hurt Flora. Oh no. Oh no, cats. Flora's gonna get hurt. Oh, Jack is covered in catnip. Yes, he is. He turned slowly. He sniffed his tail. And as he sniffed, he remembered the words that Flora had shouted at him in the giant donut. "Remember who you are! You're Ulysses!" This helpful advice had been followed by a single powerful word. Act! He heard the sounds of footsteps. What should he do? What action should he take? He should type. He should type a word. But what word? Can't really read what that says. No more typing. Oh, it looks like he got snatched. Luna, please come back. Please come back and read. Okay, we got one more chapter. Jack is such a loyal kitty. Jack is the most loyal, the best listener for the read aloud. Yes, are you such a good listener? Okay. Whoa! Chapter 56. Kidnapped. Oh, Jack, now I can't read. I can't read if you're laying on the book. I can't. Okay, there we go. Some catnip and cat hair on the book. She woke with a start. The house was incredibly dark, so dark that Flora wondered if she had gone temporarily blind. "Ulysses?" she said. She sat up and stared in the direction of the door. "Oh, okay, Jack. Can't see. I can't see, Jack." Jack, I need to be able to read the book. I need to be able to read the book. Yeah. Okay, thank you, Jack. Slowly, the rectangular outline of it appeared, and then she could see it was a jar. Ulysses, she said again. She got out of bed and went down the darkened stairs and past the little shepherdess. You lamp, she said. She made her way into the kitchen. It was empty. The typewriter was unmanned, or unsquirreled. Ulysses! Oh. She walked over to the typewriter and saw a piece of paper glowing white in the dim light. Uh-oh, she said. She leaned in close. She squinted. Dear Flora, I am terribly fond of you, but I hear the call of the wild, and I must return to my natural habitat. Thank you for the macaroni and cheese. Yours, Mr. Squirrel. Mr. Squirrel? Call of the wild? Terribly fond? It was the biggest lie Flora had ever read in her life. It didn't look like Ulysses had written it at all. On the very end, only at the very end did the truth appear. 2 letters, F-L. That was Ulysses, she knew, trying to type her name one last time to tell her that he loved her. I love you too, she whispered to the paper. And then she looked around the kitchen. What kind of cynic was she whispering, I love you to a squirrel who wasn't even there? But she did love him. She loved his whiskers. She loved his words. She loved his happiness, his little head, his determined heart, his nutty breath. She loved how beautiful he looked when he flew. She felt her heart seize up. Why hadn't she told him that? She should have said those words to him. But that didn't matter now. What mattered was finding him. Flora had been reading The Criminal Element for 2 solid years for nothing. She knew what was going on. The squirrel had been kidnapped by her mother. She took a deep breath. She considered what to do, what action to take. In the event of a true and genuine emergency, okay, Jack, I need this page that you're laying on. Oh, sweet boy, we gotta finish the chapter. We gotta finish it. Excuse me. Excuse me. I'm gonna finish the chapter. Yes, Jack rolled in the catnip. That's what's on these cats. Okay. Okay, baby. I'm gonna pick you up. Boop, 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 boop. Okay. In the event of a true and genuine emergency, an absolute and undeniable crime, the authorities must be notified immediately, said the criminal element. Flora was certain that this was a true and genuine emergency, an absolute and undeniable crime. Still, it didn't seem like a good idea to notify the authorities. If she called the police, what would she say? My mother kidnapped my squirrel? The criminal element. If for some reason the authorities are not accessible to you, then you must seek help in other quarters. Whom do you trust? Whom do you know how to be a safe port in a storm? Flora suddenly remembered her dream, how warm William Spiver's hand had felt in her own. She blushed. Whom did she trust? Good grief. She trusted William Spiver. Isn't that sweet, Jack? Isn't that sweet? Yes. You think that's sweet, Luna? Hobbs, how you doing? Okay. Well, thanks for reading with me, guys. Does anyone want to ask a question? Do you have any questions thought up, Jack? Any questions? Okay, here's my questions. So first question is, how did Flora know that Ulysses didn't write that letter? Okay, and the book says this pretty obviously, but I just want to hear it from you guys. How did she know that Ulysses didn't write that letter? Okay. Second question is, a yes or no, do you think that the mom kidnapped Ulysses? And then third question is, whoever kidnapped Ulysses, whoever you think kidnapped Ulysses, where are they taking him? Okay, so those 3 questions. I'll see you guys later today.